Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Stuff I Heard podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Peak. So, this is Stuff I Heard, and there are some things that I've heard lately.
What have you heard?
I don't know if you've heard it.
Mm,
It's going to get cold again. Like
yes,
winter's
I've heard
coming back.
that.
Like we were having some really nice weather with shorts and flip flops, and now it's going to get cold and yucky and
Yeah,
wintry.
yeah. As a
Uh,
matter of fact, we just got back from the beach. We spent the weekend at the beach.
yep.
And oh my gosh, that rain this morning and the wind. I was just,
41-mile-an-hour gust, it said.
yes, I was, actually, I had to just close my eyes at one point and because I don't know how in the world you were seeing the road.
It was a little adventurous, I'll tell you
Yes,
that. I did slow down to about 45 because you couldn't see anything otherwise. And honestly, I was just making sure that the side of the road was yellow and I could see the lights in front of me and they were still far enough that if something were to happen, I could get on the brakes. But yeah, it was a little treacherous there for a while. And I was glad to get off the road and get home.
yes. So with this rain and wind is coming some cold weather.
Yep. So it's gonna get
But I
burr
don't think
cold.
I don't think it's going to be like mixed with any precipitation so that we have any ice or snow, right? I don't think
I
they're
don't
calling for that, are
I
they?
don't think so, but
Good.
I mean, it could happen.
I don't want it to happen.
I mean, you never know. This is a funny climate that we're living in.
It
So,
is definitely a lot colder sooner, longer.
but we
I
did
mean,
we did get to enjoy some nice weather at the beach. I mean,
yes, yesterday was actually turned out to be a beautiful day.
I had a jacket, but I was like, I don't know if I need this
Yeah,
jacket.
yeah, yesterday. Now, yeah, well, I wouldn't say a beautiful day. It started off with when we went to the beach Friday, the weather
Hmm.
was gorgeous.
Yeah,
Friday was a beautiful day, although it was way more chilly outside than what it looked like it would be if you were indoors. Sun was beautiful,
yeah.
but we went down after work on Friday,
Hmm.
met up with some friends,
For
and for
Valentine's.
Valentine's Day weekend,
Yeah.
and some friends of ours that live here in Florence had some family in town from Ohio,
Yeah.
and we had a blast. I thought Saturday was going to be like a total pour down rain all day. So I was extremely pleased. We started off with some decent, the sun was shining and it was what, in the mid 60s maybe?
Yeah. Well, high 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it become overcast, but thankfully it never rained.
We had a really good dinner at a place I'd never eat at before, the Carolina Roadhouse, Friday
That was
night.
on Friday night. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never been there before. I've driven by it a lot. I've just never eat there, and it was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. And they were very busy. Of course, it
Hmm.
was Valentine's Day that Friday night was. And so there was, I'm sure, even more people than average out. But to me, it reminded me a lot of like a California Dreamin' or a Percy and Willie's that we
Yeah.
used to have here in Florence.
Yeah, a lot of their food was real similar. But it was, I mean, plenty of food and really good
Oh my
service.
gosh, the service. I mean, a young guy was our waiter or our server, and he was absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah.
He was super busy, but you could tell that he was definitely paying attention to all of his customers. He did a fantastic job.
Yeah. Yeah, I was enjoying that. Also, I enjoyed the fact that we were able to, go with our friends to the beach. And I think they originally tried to get a three-bedroom, but it wasn't available. So they actually gave us a room right above
Oh yeah, we
theirs
had
that
a
was
gorgeous
a
room.
single room, which had a wonderful view of the ocean. That was just
And what was the name of
uh,
the resort? I know it was a Wyndham because that's what
Sea
Danny and
Watch.
Sea Watch.
Yeah,
Absolutely gorgeous. We've stayed there a couple times with them. We've stayed on that resort.
yeah.
They have different towers and it's beautiful. I mean that the room that we were in, it was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
I don't know if you noticed that this is yet one more trip where we've taken a six-pack of sodas down and
Brought them all
brought
back.
them all back.
But we had a really good time. So let's see, we met up with them Friday. They
Hmm.
were already down there. So we went and had dinner Friday night.
Hmm.
Had a great dinner, and then we went back to our resort.
But
What?
first we were like, we want some ice cream.
Oh no, yes, you and Danny
So
wanted ice cream.
we had to stop by the
Had to
Kroger on the
stop
way
by
back,
Kroger and
get some ice cream.
get a carton of ice
Sea
cream.
salt caramel.
Yeah.
You didn't want any. That was weird.
Nope.
Sea
And
salt caramel turtle. Yeah.
so then we played. We actually played. We one card game. That was actually, I'm not sure the exact name of it. I want to say maybe we've played it one other time, but we had the best time. I think we played like maybe what 5 rounds
Yeah.
of the game.
Yeah.
Super fun.
It was fun.
We had a blast.
Had some ice cream, got to enjoy each other's company,
Yes.
visit a little while, make jokes and stuff. And then Saturday, we were able
Saturday
to.
morning we went out for breakfast at
I didn't feel like we like hit the ground running
no, we
Saturday.
didn't. We
We
took our
kind of took our
time.
time. We had some coffee that morning.
Right.
Just talked for a while about what we wanted to do, and then we went and got some breakfast at Blueberry Grill, which is always a huge hit for us. We love Blueberry Grill.
I don't think all the times I've
I've
eaten
never had a
there,
bad meal
I've never had a bad meal or
or good
bad
or yeah,
service.
service is always great.
Yeah.
Um, we had a nice meal sitting outside on the patio. It was a little chilly, but they had the heater on above us, which was nice. And
And
yeah,
once again, excellent service. I remember the guy
yeah,
took our picture and,
yeah,
I mean, just super, super nice.
yeah. And then after we did that, we went to do an activity.
Yes, but we also did a little bit of the guys went shopping at Harbor Freight,
Oh
the
yeah,
ladies
yeah.
went shopping at Belk.
Well, you said that you and the girls were talking about going to Belk's, and then we split up. We synchronized our Scooby Doo watches, and we went out on a mission. And you
Yes,
guys went to Belk's, and we were able to find some really good sales.
we sure did.
You came back and you were super excited about
Yes,
all the money you saved.
yes, I racked up.
Yep. And then the guys went to Harbor Freight and they actually had music playing this time, not just the music in our
Oh
heads.
yeah.
They had music playing over the speakers. I was like, that's not I'm not imagining that, right? She goes, no, there's music playing. I was like, okay. Yeah. So um we then met up for an activity. We did Top Golf.
And I had never been to Top Golf.
I've been once. Um but I enjoyed this time a lot better just because we had more time to kind of feel it out and figure things
Well, I
out.
mean, I'm not a super competitive person. I mean,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, I don't like to lose at everything,
right.
but when it comes to some sport, I mean, I don't mind. I'll play the sports like bowling. I mean, I'll do those kind of activities. I'm not the best at it. As a matter of fact, not always come in last, but I still enjoy doing it. Top Golf was fun. I mean, we laughed. We had a really good time,
Yeah,
and it was not. I always just assumed, and this was just an assumption that I had made, that it was super expensive, but it was not.
it's not. No, especially when you have a group and everybody just kind of pays their own.
Yeah, because I want to
You
say it costed. We golfed for what, an hour?
Yeah, I mean, if you did it for one person for the hour, then that would probably be expensive for just you. But it's meant to be an activity with a group, and of course, when you split it up that
Yeah,
way, then it's not so bad.
I want to say our portion was like 30. It was a little under $40.
Yeah,
So an hour for two people, and we had a great time.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. And we were on the third deck, which I thought was going to be super cold, but it wasn't.
They
I
had
mean,
really nice heaters.
they still had the heaters above you, so it made it comfortable. And I mean, the weather again cooperated. It wasn't rainy. It was nice. But yeah, really good time. They were able to go back to the room and kind of get readjusted and re
Actually, we
prepared
didn't
for
have
dinner.
long. We had to change clothes really quickly for dinner. We actually had reservations on Saturday night for Hook and Barrel.
Yeah,
And that's our second time eating there.
it's
It
fantastic.
is absolutely it's amazing.
And I was a little bit full still from earlier in the day. Um,
Oh, we went to the
we
distillery.
also went to the
That's right.
distillery,
We went to back to the
1233
yes,
distillery.
we after Top Golf, we went back to the distillery, and I don't think we sat there quite as long, but
No,
that was really nice to kind of just sit down for a few minutes. Everybody had a cocktail of sorts,
hmm
and we enjoyed that. And then we went to then we went to the room and changed
yeah.
clothes.
And then we had a really good dinner at Hook and Barrel with
Their
excellent
food is
service
just
and
amazing.
really, really good food. And I know we had talked about wanting to go for Valentine's Day night there, but it was booked up. And luckily, Lori was able to get us in for the next night. So that worked
Yes.
out pretty
Yeah.
good.
Well, also too, we didn't know Friday what time everybody would be getting down there.
Sure.
So we didn't want to put the pressure because you and I both worked our both of us got off a little bit earlier on Friday,
Yeah.
but we didn't want to push the issue in case somebody couldn't get there on time.
Right.
And so, but yesterday I mean, I love the fact that it's a little bit more of a pricey meal,
hmm
but to me it's worth every penny. The building, the decor is beautiful. they wait on you, that they just make you feel like the money that you're spending is worth it. Not to mention the fact that the food is just top notch.
Yeah.
Was not disappointed at all. Then we went back to the rooms and played left, right, center, and lost some more money.
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
we
And we also
were
played Blank Slate, which is
yeah, we did
fun.
play. Yeah, we
So I
did.
mean, there's a lot of games that you can play as a group that's still fun, and we had a good time. And I mean, this morning I woke up and I was like, I'm awake. Let's go.
Yeah,
I
our
was ready to get home.
uh, uh one of our friends, his sister and her husband had drove down from Ohio, and they were driving straight back today.
Yeah.
So they didn't leave as early as I would have thought. They had a 9 hour drive. They left around 8 a.m. and I'm hoping that they're not encountering too much bad weather on the roads. I think they were going back to like 0 degree
Oh
weather
yeah.
and some snow.
They said they're going back into some snow on the
Yeah,
way. So that'll make it more adventurous. Probably not exactly the 9 hour trip they were planning, but more like 10 or 12.
I hope not.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're home and it was nice to be home. I mean, it was nice to get away and do stuff, but it's also nice to be home and kind of catch up on some of the things you know you need to do, like laundry and changing the sheets and that sort of thing. But we got to eat a really good Marley spoon today too. The
Yeah, we did.
we had like a Mediterranean pita with pulled pork and
And actually, our Marley Spoon deliveries are back on track again.
yeah, they got kind of wonky there for a while, but they seem to be okay now. And you know, the meals are really fantastic, so I was happy to have that. We got a busy week planned. Lots of things happening at my job, at least. I don't know what you got going on, but I'm gonna have a busy week.
Oh, it's busy at work, period. Just
Yeah,
busy.
and then next weekend is gonna be. I don't even know if we'll do a podcast next weekend. May not be available.
Um, I'm
I
I
might have to
may
do a
not.
solo one.
Yeah. I'm actually leaving Saturday morning to go to Greensboro, Goldsboro, one of the boroughs in North Carolina.
It's not Goldsboro. You're going to
At
Greensboro.
Greensboro.
Yeah.
We're going to a musical play, not a show. Lori gave us that for Christmas.
And who's it going to be?
It's me, Lori, and Cheryl.
No, who's the show for?
Oh, it's like a tribute, or it's a Michael Jackson, which I'm thrilled with because I know all of the songs. I
Just
mean,
like Thriller. You're
no,
thrilled.
just like I'm thrilled. So I've got that on this coming weekend. So I don't know what time I'll be home on Sunday.
Did y'all
It's like a 2.5 hour drive from here. So I'll be riding with Lori, and I'll be going together.
yeah.
And then Cheryl's actually, she lives over in Ivanhoe now, so North Carolina. So she's going to meet us there. And we plan on getting there a little bit earlier in the day. I
Mhm.
don't think the show's until 8 p.m. that evening in the Coliseum. So we want to get there and kind of just, I don't know, we're going to do a little bit of research this week, try to maybe scope out a place to have a late lunch or an early dinner.
Mhm.
I'm sure we will Sunday morning probably have breakfast somewhere and then head back this way.
Okay.
But yeah, you'll be on your own. I'm sure you and Danny have
Well,
got big Jeep plans.
and come Sunday, I might not be here. I might be off doing something for work. So
Oh, that's right. You've got a work trip coming
we'll
up.
have to play that by ear and see what happens there. But yeah, it's going to be a busy couple of weeks here coming up, and you know, it's funny how that all happens sometimes.
I was trying to pull this up. This is not there is actually a Cirque du Soleil has a Michael Jackson 1 show out in Vegas, but that is not what this is. This is actually Michael Jackson. I'm not sure what it is. It was the winner of 4 Tony Awards. Michael Jackson the musical. So yeah, I mean, I can only imagine that the music would be fantastic.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think you'll have fun.
Maybe it's a story of his life along with the music.
Hmm.
So it's actually, it says it's 2 hours and 30 minutes with
Ooh, intermission.
one intermission.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm looking
Well,
forward to it.
they may do the beginning with the Jackson Five and have him
It
do a lot of
may.
songs,
It
and then do the transition to him to be like being an adult after intermission.
it says that the Michael Jackson Estate and Columbia Live Stage have partnered on the project with two-time
Cool.
Pulitzer winner whatever this person's name is. Tony, it's got some Tony Award winners. So yeah, it must have something to do with his story, his life story, and his rise to fame.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
yeah, looking forward to it. Then after that, I've got Mary. Well, Mary Poppins is not coming. That musical play is not until the first part of April, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think in March we might actually have. Don't tell anybody, but no plans. Right?
I'm scared that you said that out loud.
I'm sure it's going to change.
I'm a little terrified that you said that out loud.
Oh, I just thought we are busy people.
Well,
We stay busy.
yeah. But I mean, that's what you want, right? You don't want to sit around and just do nothing.
Oh no.
It's like, hey, life is about doing things. Let's do things.
Yeah,
we're doing. I mean, we got those friends.
Yes.
And they love to go, and so do we. So apparently, that's our thing.
It does make life so much. We laughed so much.
Yeah.
When you think back to the Friday evening
yeah.
and the Saturday evening,
I thought at a certain point, I thought all the ladies are going to go, I'm going to be my pants. Oh my God. Like, I was just waiting for that to come out.
We laughed so hard. I don't know. It's really made me appreciate the fact that we do have good friends.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how much more interesting and enriching our lives are because of the friends that we have.
Well,
and that we enjoy spending time with them.
That's sort of the idea of all of this is, I mean, even in church, they were saying, you're better together and you're meant to do life together. And
yeah,
they're not just meaning, you and another person, but you and your community and you and your people. And you build more and more people along the way. And we do. We all do. Whether we realize it or not, we network all the time.
Right. I mean, in friendships, they're very rewarding, but you have to put the time in.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't always want to be the person that is the one that reaches out all the time.
Right.
And I try hard to do a better job of that. Of if it's been a while since I've heard from somebody, I like to let them know, hey, I just want to let you know I'm thinking about you and I hope everything's going good. I like to think that I am a good friend. I try hard to be. I want somebody to look forward or appreciate my friendship as much as I do theirs. So it is work, but any relationship is work if you want it to be successful.
Speaking of which, we just got to celebrate Valentine's Day again.
Yeah.
And our work is definitely, we put in work. We both have.
Most definitely. I'd say relationships are work.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody at work this past week about what we were doing for Valentine's, and they were like, do y'all have plans? And I said, well, we kind of do. We're going out of town. Oh, really? Just a romantic getaway? Just the two of you? I was like, no, we're meeting with friends and we're going to go out to eat and stuff like that. And like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, did y'all get each other or anything? And I said, no, we don't do that.
You usually send me flowers.
But we plan like trips and stuff.
That's we don't normally spend money on that kind of stuff. No.
And he was saying that, he got his wife some flowers, and he said, unfortunately, she works from home. So he said, I don't get credit for the flowers because no one sees it. And I was like, well, yeah, that's kind of a thing. You want them to be in an office where you can send the flowers to the office. That way everybody in the office is like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. You're like, I know, right?
Yes, exactly. Except for you do. I will say that the change that you made a couple of years ago, instead of sending me a bouquet of flowers, you started sending the flowers
the tulip bulbs. Because tulips are your favorite.
Tulips are my favorite flower.
And if I send them ahead of time,
tulips don't travel very well unless you order them from a florist. And I work where the delivery fee is, they tack on a huge delivery fee where I work because I'm way out of town.
Yeah.
And the year that I don't know if you knew that the tulips were going to come the way they did the first time, because you probably wouldn't have sent them that way, but actually it worked out to be one of the better bouquets of flowers you had ever seen.
Oh, that was the ones that were the 1-800 flowers or sherry berries or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
And it came like prepared for you to put them in a vase, and then you put
no.
I'm
not talking about that. I'm talking about the first time you had sent them like that several times, where you assemble. They come in a big box, and you assemble them. They send the vase. They send the packet of food. They send the flowers with instructions of how to arrange them in the vase and everything. Those are pretty. Don't get me wrong. That I love those. I mean, any female loves flowers. Period. But the year, it's been a couple, I think this is three, I think it was 3 years ago. I got a delivery at work, and it was a just a box, and in the box was a potted, like a, I'm not really sure how to describe it. It's like a, not a, it's like a pot, like a flower pot. And it had moss on the top. And I thought, okay, this is different. What is this? So of course it had a card in it. So I knew that it was from you. And when you took the moss off the top, there were little tiny sprigs sticking up, just barely sticking up over the soil. And a coworker happened to be standing at my desk, and she goes, "Oh, look, you got asparagus." And of course, as I'm looking at it, I'm realizing that no, these are bulbs. And I don't remember if the first year it was tulips or it was like a tulip daffodil type mix. I can't remember, like a spring mix.
Yeah.
But that turned out to be the most interesting thing that happened in my office for the longest time, because everybody would come to my desk at least once a day while those things were in the process of sprouting and growing and then blooming.
Yeah.
And everybody was just totally fascinated by it. Matter of fact, there was a couple guys that would come to my desk from the mill to get candy at the candy dish. And when they realized what that was, several of them even commented that that was the most unique, different thing they'd ever seen, and they never really thought about it. And they went back home and told their wives about it, and they were like, "I think I'm going to do that next year." And I mean, this year, same thing. I mean, it came, and somebody walked to my desk with a box, and he was like, "Miss D, are you expecting some bulbs?" Well, the first thing I thought of was light bulbs. And I was like, no, any fluorescent tube lighting would go to maintenance. And he goes, "No, ma'am, this is like," and he pulls out this flower pot. And I go, "Oh, yeah, that's from my husband." And he's like, "What is it?" And I said, "It's tulips. They have not bloomed." And then the very next day, they broke the ground. And, it's amazing to watch how fast they grow in one day,
Oh
just
yeah.
in one day's time.
Yeah. And
There will be a YouTube video because I take pictures of them every day.
it's nerve-wracking ordering them because you don't know what's going to show up sometimes. And you go looking up tulips, and a lot of the websites are like, yeah, it's not, we don't have those. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of digging to try to find those. But I mean,
I'm looking forward to seeing what colors they are.
oh yeah,
I mean, right now
I know
they're
what
only
color they're gonna be.
they're only like 2 inches maybe now. So I mean, I don't mind the fact that I didn't have actual tulip flowers on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to what I've got continuing to grow and bloom.
Well, and now they'll be like hopefully pretty for a whole week.
Yeah, they will be. Yeah.
So.
I mean, and we still got a while before they bloom because, like I say, when I left work Friday, they were only about 2 inches. So I'm sure I'm going to be completely shocked when I walk in tomorrow to see how much they've grown.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing pictures.
Yep. You did good. You always do good on that.
Well, it's hoping. It's all hoping.
Yeah.
Hope and try.
They'll be great. They always are.
But yeah, but for the most part, I mean, like I said, we really don't plan a lot of like Valentine stuff or anniversary stuff or whatever. We tend to think about vacations and trips and things that we're looking forward to doing together. And I think that's really our focus. And I think we've done a good job of that over the years.
Yeah, most definitely.
And our YouTube history shows a bunch of videos in the past that we can go back and revisit. And it's nice seeing like reminders pop up on our Facebook feed because it was what 11 years ago that we were in Hawaii.
It was 2015. This time
10 years ago. 10 years ago.
Was it this time of the year?
Yep. No. It popped up as a memory.
And we went it showed in September of 2015.
Maybe I changed the picture or something.
You may have.
But it showed us sitting on with that beautiful rolling hill behind us of the bay. We were on top of the
I think you might have used that as a profile picture, and it just maybe refreshed or something.
Maybe that's what it was. It also said like 11 years ago, I was delivering in the snow. It showed a picture of me standing outside of somewhere in Roland, North Carolina with snow all around me.
Well, it is turning cold weather again, so.
Yeah. But it's neat. It's neat seeing like the feedback of stuff that you forget about or reminders of, oh yeah, remember you were on that trip this time. I'm like, oh yeah, we were. How about that? So some of that stuff's pretty cool to see.
Yeah. Oh, thinking about Valentine's Day, I have a friend that substitute teaches sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and she texted me and a couple other girlfriends on Friday morning and said, I'm substitute teaching today, and today is today's Valentine's Day at school, and she said you would not believe the most incredible looking Valentine boxes that has walked by the door, and it just kind of made me remember being in elementary school and doing the Valentine where you put so much thought into each Valentine and who you picked them for, and then you made your little box to drop the Valentines in.
Mm.
And I mean, now I'm sure as a female, we think about that kind of stuff more than guys do. But I can remember getting Valentines and then going home and going over those Valentines with a fine tooth comb just to see if a cute boy had sent me a Valentine. It was,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Yeah, ours was more like, hey, here's your list of names. Write these down.
Well, somebody I work with actually has small children, and she said that it's not like it used to be. It's not.
Yeah.
It's more of goodie bags. People do little goodie bags, and with little hearts and candies in them, and then they with it tied up with a bow, and that's what each kid takes to school now to give out as Valentines. So it's totally different. I remember not really giving out candy to each other. We just gave the little paper Valentine that went in an envelope and you put the person's name on the front. So they're different now than they used. It's different now than it used to be.
Hmm.
But we
Weird.
did see a lot of. I mean, Myrtle Beach was very busy.
Yes.
Friday evening was busy, and even yesterday evening was busy. People eating out and having a nice dinner with their people.
Yeah. But again, glad to be back to normal.
Oh yeah.
Kind of,
Oh, what is normal this day
I don't
and time?
know. I don't know. I'm realizing right now that my sinuses have got me in kind of a brain fog, and you're doing all the heavy lifting, so thank you.
Well, we're not gonna get much lifting done. So
Yeah.
I guess it's a good time now to wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Thank you everybody out there who's listening. Appreciate you. Um, Asking for thoughts and prayers for family members. But yeah. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, share this with your friends. And as always, cue the cow.
Cue the cow. Moo, baby.